Now then, and welcome back to another episode on the FTOG server, playing some more Quantus. Yes, last episode I made this room sorted this room out, got started on it, and I've been tinkering with it a little bit. We're pretty much picking up right where we left off last episode. I've added in a few little bits and pieces, so these fans with some kind of electricals, just kind of like extractor fans for the industrial kitchen look. The extractor fan seems to work right. I've had some more prismarine, so I've finished that off. I went around the edges. This dark prismarine is actually a ton easier than we thought originally. The dark prismarine, the recipe for it is black dye or ink sacs with prismarine shards around it. Okay, but little known fact, obviously, is that any prismarine block, any of them, even the 4 prismarine shard block, can be turned into the 9 prismarine shard block. So 4 into 9, 4 into a dark prismarine, which is 8 plus an ink sac. The 4 is so super simple. 4 prismarine shards, and you can basically turn them through chisel into anything. Now that seems a little bit excessive to me, but well, that's the way it is. That's the way it rocks. And with a farm such as the farm that we've got, that I showed you last episode, it's not really that big a deal because we get so much of it anyway. But it is a kind of a cheaty way. It's not a balanced way. I'm not in favour or against it because it doesn't really make any difference to the grand scheme of things, but it's a little bit cheaty, isn't it? With a 4 being turned into an 8 with an ink sac, or a 4 being turned into a 9. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I've got that. So I made some of that, and I did a load of this, and I've done a load of that, and I've made a little trim around the edge just to give it a little bit more definition. What I've been doing here is taking the front of the sea lantern off. Let me just make sure I'm on connected plane, or plane at least. Take the front of the sea lantern off, and then place the fan on instead. So at the front of the sea lantern off, put the fan on instead. I'm going to have to do lighting updates in a minute. I changed from minimal no lighting to smooth lighting. We still get this kind of effect going on a little bit, but it is better. It was noted in the comments. And there maybe? Yeah, that resets the lighting a little bit. If I go there, does that reset that bit? Maybe. That looks a bit better anyway. It's just awkward having to do the lighting resets just to make sure that you get the lighting right. So that's not too bad now. And we've got some extractor fans in the walls, which look good. I could do a bit of wiring between the two, or a little piping or something. I went with just using that, because I'm going to have to chisel and bit actual wiring in or something like that to connect those two wire-wise. I might even have a look at doing the circuits mod, the simple circuits mod, and playing around with that. Even if it's just put some circuits on the wall for show. That might be interesting and fun to do. But yeah, that's the simplest way I can do lighting the room. Can I have the thing, please? Thank you. The simplest way to light the room is such. To that side? That's better. Okay. You got to figure out which side requires. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we've done that. And there's a few other little bits and pieces that I'm thinking of doing as well. There's that. And can I go there? Get that lighting back, thank you. Every time the lighting upgrades on this side of things, we get lag spikes. And that one looks a bit broken, doesn't it now? That fan looks a bit broken. Okay, let's take another fan block and just set that down over here. We'll take all that back. Thank you. I could have done it a lot quicker, I know, but there we go. Alright, so we've got some fans in the walls hiding the lighting. Yes, and the walls are now lit. The floor is lit by this, but I'm trying to do some kind of like drainage going through it. And the ceiling is well lit as well. So the whole room will be well lit, industrially well lit soon enough. Right? So we can do that. This little section down here is over here. Let's go this way. This little section here is basically what I want to show as drainage at the edges. In every industrial food processing place that I've ever been in, and I've been in a few because I've been manager of a few places. When you go into a place like this, they have it so that on the weekend, like on the Friday, they can basically just hose the floor down and hose the floor to the drainage at the outsides and of the middle. So everything just get hosed down, cleaned down. All of the bits and pieces that a food processing place has to just like splash off the splash barriers and go down the drains and disappear and clean off, right? Stainless steel and tile and everything nice and clean at the end of the week, ready for the weekend off. That's kind of how it's supposed to be. So I've got this section here, and what I've thought about doing was setting up a chisel pattern to do something like that, and then setting up another chisel pattern to do something like that. I just set that up wrong. Oh man, I just did it, didn't I? Let's take one of these. This'll do. It's not quite as big as the pattern I originally had, but I've just messed that up, didn't I? And then we can chisel this down here like this. Now, most of the occasions when I've seen these in action, they do have a kind of like grills, and it's a whole chain running down, but it has grills that you take out. Not one complete grill, but it's always grills that you can take out. So if a blockage happens at any point, you have to pull these up, right? Another thing that we used to do in a factory that I once worked in was we used to pull all these up before cleaning. So all of the rubbish went down the drain instead of getting caught in the grill. And then at the end, we'd have one filter. So all of the rubbish would get put into the drain. All the food bits and everything would get put into the drain. And the filter would then get emptied out, but all the water would go down. So we wouldn't have to empty every single stretch of the railing of the drain covers. But anyway, aside from that, let's get on with installing it, shall we? Alright, so we're going to have some more sections all the way down here. Now, in the centre, we've got a slightly different problem in the centre part. What? You went the wrong way. That way. That's it. Let's not have one in the door space, shall we? We did have one in the door space there, but we will have none. We will have none of that. Let's have a full block of prismarine just to set that up and put that back like that. There we go. Okay, so yeah, and then that can be a full block as well. Thank you. So yeah, we'll set up a run like this on each side, and then a drain on the bottom corner, right, of each one. And that gives us a realistic feel about how they would clean up the place. It also seems to be sorting out lighting issues as we're going down as well, interestingly enough. Okay. When it comes down to the centre, though, we've got to go over the sea lanterns, which gives me a little bit more difficulty, as it were. So I can come down here like this, but I can't go over the sea lanterns as yet, because I need to take the top section of this off and put it onto a sea lantern. At the minute, this is replacing the full block. I might put full drainage just in front of the doorway there, so we have drainage in front of the door. That's an ideal. There we go, yeah. And then this one can go there, there. We've got those two there, and then from this side we've got to bring it from this way around, because they would be more even in the centre, wouldn't they? I only need to make one pattern, though, it seems. I make one pattern for the whole design. There we go. Right, so now we've got some drainage in the room, right? And now I'll keep the drain there, but I'll take this off. And we've got to figure out how to set this all up. So, I will take a prismarine block. Yeah, I'll take a prismarine block. And actually, I'll take a few because I want to do it a little bit higher up than that. Okay, and then we'll click on here the pattern that we want. And we'll get rid of the two below it. So this should have that pattern on the top of it now. Yes, it does. Okay, so now we can chisel away everything else of this block. So we'll take these ones away first, and then we will just take, well, we'll get the sea lantern bits, and we can break this, get this out of the way. We can get this so that we're set on a plane, and then we can plane off the underside until there's just that one left, and then we can add the sea lantern back to it. Do it in the reverse way, you see. Do it the opposite way around, right? And we've got full block yet. I think that's full. Yeah, there's full. And then we'll take a copy of that and place that down where we want it in here, like so. The lighting does not change. We get the right light in, but we've also got the sea lantern hidden away underneath a similar design for the overall drainage system. Now I might change a little bit of this because I've gone very tiled instead of stainless steel. But maybe the stainless steel look will be something that we get to in the next era. Or maybe not even the next era, maybe the era after that, because we're going into the magic era next. This is all set up ready for me to install machinery and automated cooking stuff soon enough. Here now, underneath the farms, I need to do something with cooking with blockheads, I think. I need to do something with cooking with blockheads to make a nice kitchen. I also need a little, well, some kind of stairwell up. Maybe this way or that way, I don't know. Maybe the stairs up will be in here. Maybe I'll put stairs up in here somewhere. But we need to start thinking of this. And stone, bricks, and wood is the order of the business. So I will make a basic start and get us a template set up, and then we'll work on some details together. Alright, so to start with, we're just working on a basic template ideal. Okay, I've picked out these large oak planks from Chisel, which, let me just place a couple down. Actually, no, I don't need to, I'll just put them on here. These large planks, and we're going to be connected planes. So rather than putting a full block or a half block, I'm just putting a single chisel and bits layer of bits up there with planks. And that obviously shows then that this is just a quart block of these, which is, well, a half a block. I'm just taking half of the log away and leaving the other half there. So it's a half slab of oak wood, and then a panel or a plane of oak panels, or yeah, oak. It looks rustic. That's the idea. It looks rustic, and I'm doing it in threes as well because, well, I like threes, and it's easier to remember and work out. Building styles in threes always works, so we're going 3 across on here, and every 3 across we're then going to place the oak bits, and then we're just going to go with like this again. So it's easy just to be able to just build it up. So when I run out, I can come along and take it from there and build it on here and build it across. Fill that out like so. Try and get the whole area just like a basic look. I can always change things again. I think the thing that a lot of people do wrong when they're building is try and overthink what they're intending on doing, and trying to plan it all out and know exactly what they're doing before they even start placing blocks. And I find that my building style and the building style of others that I've seen and watched goes against that. They don't necessarily know everything that they go for straight away. They have a palette, maybe. They know what the palette is going to be. They know what they fancy. But they don't stick to it exactly. They'll just throw a few things around and have an inventory full of random stuff, and have a chest full of random stuff close by, so that they can test things out and experiment. And a few little ideas that will come to them later on after trying something. Fortunate mistakes is a way of looking at it as well. You can accidentally do something that you were intending on doing differently, and then you look at it and go, actually, that is quite nice. I like that. I will do that around everywhere else. And slowly but surely you build up the room that you're doing, build up the way you want it. It takes me a very long time to build something like this though, so I thought I'd break it down for you a little bit today so that you can see some of the stages. Once I've done this, I've replaced all the wall with stone bricks, so we're stone bricked all the way around. I've added one of these doors in so that from this side it's going to look like that, yeah, which looks good inside here, going through to the dining room this side and coming into the rustic kitchen this side, yeah. I'm going to have to put some arches in, stone arch this section here so that we've got it going into there. Just slightly different, maybe, I don't know, but we can throw in some panels and stuff around. Maybe I'll do the paneling arched into there. I don't know how I'm going to fix this bit yet. We'll figure that out and you'll see soon enough. And then I'll replace the floor. Replace the entire floor with something. Probably not this one though. I'll probably go for a darker. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a darker. In fact, I'm going to go over to ftog'ians Tavern and use that for some inspiration for the flooring and the content, because we're going to make it. I don't think this whole thing needs to be a kitchen, so maybe the back end is going to be a kitchen. From this sort of section here is going to be a kitchen, and the front section is going to be seating and tables and kind of a tavern in sorts, a tavern of sorts, and then a rustic kitchen behind there. Yeah, so we need to go over to ftog'ians Tavern and have a look for inspiration. Okay, so ftog'ians is making a very oriental feel to his builds at the moment. But this is far from being an oriental field. I guess maybe it is oriental feeling. But look at these tables. Awesome spruce looking tables. What floors he got? Dark oak planks. Chiseled dark oak planks. Dark oak. With spruce wood, quarried stone and all that kind of stuff to make the overall beam effect. It's pretty awesome. So he's been doing this for ages. He made it. Well, did I get stuck by the door then? Get me through the door. He made it ages ago. Put a little bit of brown wool chiseled carpet in the front as a rug. Nice. Oh, he's gone for a cobblestone floor. Okay, cobblestone floor with some foodstuffs and put on tables. I like the tables though. The tables are really nice, and the chairs pretty cool as well. They take up. Was that a block space? There's a block and a little bit on the top. There's a block's worth and a little bit on top. And the tables take up a single block space, which is quite nice. Bar stools. And then there's all of the setup here for cooking for blockheads. Just basically put it all in one row. Nice and simple with some cupboards above. And how has he got his fridge a different colour? Do you just colour fridges? I didn't know you could colour a fridge, but I guess you can just tap it with some ink and colour it. That'd be cool. Alright, so we've just got a basic setup here of cooking for blockheads, but the main part of it is all of this awesome work that he's got in the tavern. Like I've just seen that for the first time. Like a wagon wheel with torchlight on the top. How cool is that? That's awesome. I like. And the old fish over the fireplace. And a roaring fireplace, of course. Look at all that. So it's all very, very awesome. He's done a great job. Done a great job indeed. And I really like it. I really do. We're going to have to do something slightly different, but I was just coming and getting some inspiration from him over here. Just getting the inspiration of it all. Getting some dark oak flooring, maybe. But this does keep it nice and clean looking. Yeah, I think we'll go with stone. This countertop, though, is pretty awesome. Yeah, very awesome. That is very, very awesome indeed. I like that. And the tables are very awesome as well. So we're going to have to come up with something very, very creative. We're going to have to be very cool and creative about this now, because ftog'ians has set the benchmark. And if we can't get it just even similar to this, then we're going to struggle to make a good impression. Now we've seen it, we've got to do at least as good. Well, okay, getting it all the way to the point of how good ftog'ians got his sorted, or ftog'ians got his sorted out. It's going to be difficult. I can see that it's going to be difficult, and I'm up for a challenge. But this is just just another way of saying goodbye. Thank you very much for watching, because I'm going to have to get it all done off camera because there's so much to do. I'm just making all the basic bits and pieces for the counters and things for now. I can make a few counters this way, I think. Yeah, make a few counters. Just making a few bits and pieces from cooking for blockheads, okay? I'm keeping one of the no filter edition blockheads books, but inside the table there is the Cooking for Blockheads 2, which crafts the things for you. The Cooking for Blockheads 1, I think it's called, is it? Yeah, just Cooking for Blockheads, no filter edition. Just shows you everything that is available in the mod pack that you can make food-wise. And it is an extensive menu of options, thanks to Pam's Harvest Craft and all the other things that are in here. There's lots and lots of different things, lots and lots of interesting things, including all the vanilla things and all that kind of stuff. There will be some other bits and pieces from other mods when they become unlocked as well. Yeah, whatever there will be, will be. So we've got that. But you don't want to see about cooking for blockheads. You don't want to see that. You know how to do that. Look, you're searching in JEI. You put it all together. It's a multi-block structure. So you connect them all together, and that's it. Job done. Yeah, that's all you need to worry about. That's it. Job done. And should be okay in here. As you can see, this is pretty much finished. This is now a little base of operations for me while I work on this section in here. Are you ready? Are you ready? I haven't done any chisel and bit stuff yet. I haven't done any cool stuff in here yet. And I've just placed where I want the counter to go. But I have decided on the flooring. I've decided on the flooring, the walls and the ceiling and the kind of layout has been decided this episode. So now I get to go away and edit this video, render it up and put it up on YouTube for you guys. And while I'm doing that, or once I've done that, should I say, once I've done that, I can then sit around playing with ideas in here and take my time with it and enjoy it and have fun and show you the little bits and pieces afterwards. The basic concept, though, is that we're going to have all of the Cooking for Blockheads multi-block structure stuff around here. I did want to test something before we go, actually. We can have all of this stuff just around here like this, okay? And Alexa. All just set up around here, maybe make some barrels and stuff, that kind of things. Try and get it set up for a kitchen and a tavern, like a tap house, barrels and stuff, and have a load of seating around here. Now the seating and chairs, I could copy some from ftog'ians because they were pretty awesome. I could potentially just make my own. That's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my own. But I get to play around with all sorts of chisel and bits in designs and stuff. I mean, the practicality of it is not really that necessary, because I've got everything I need. I don't have... what I don't have is any cocoa beans. Of all the places, I've got no cocoa beans. I was going to test out a colouring. Let's just test it out with any old colour for now then. Alright, I wanted to test out colouring these because I wanted a brown colour, right? If I can't colour it brown, then I'll colour it blue. Why not? Let's go blue. Yes, you can colour them blue. Can you change the colour once you've done it? Like, can I change it to purple? Yes, I can. So I can change the colour whenever I want. So when I found the brown, which I was thinking brown because of chest colours and things like that, if I can find like the right colour for the fridge freezer stuff, even though fridges in medieval times weren't really acceptable. This is not a medieval fridge. This is an Iron Age fridge. Iron Age fridge. Once I've done this laying out of stuff and things, then we'll pretty much be ready for showing you how it's all going to go together. I mean, there's not much automation I can do in the Iron Age. It's all about building and the fine details of how to build the individual bits is all about the chisel and bits, isn't it? So I'm afraid that's all I've got time for recording wise today. I'll get some more work done. And as always, feel free to tweet me your ideas and leave comments down below with any ideas you get. Thank you very much for watching today's Quantus on the FTOG server. I will see you tomorrow for some more. Goodbye.